Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Hey,
Hello. How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good, thank you. Good.
What's happening?
Excellent. Yeah, welcome along, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you can all hear us, see us, and all of those fun things. It's, wow. We're only, do you know, it's next month. FS 25's out next month.
I know.
It's crazy,
Somebody put in my chat the other day, less than 50 days, and I was like, oh, crikey, that's near.
I think Giant said less than 40 days in their fact sheet, but what is it, the 5th? Comes out on the 12th, so 7 plus however many months, 38 days.
38 days. How about that?
Probably 39. Probably 39 for you because you're 12 hours behind me.
Yeah, I forget. Yeah, you're in the future.
Yeah, that's it. The sun has risen, so
it has.
Okay. How are we all, everyone? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome along to another From the Field.
Welcome.
Myself.
Welcome. Hope you're all good. Had a good. Gallus from Scotland in there. So, plans tonight, Arx. What are we going to do? What are we going to chat? There's, I think, a lot to digest over the last few weeks, hasn't there?
Yeah, there's obviously the main thing was we saw Hutan Pantai, the first look at the new map. That was the main thing. Probably we've had 3 or 4 different blog posts about all the different crops. So I think they've pretty much covered off all the new crops now. We've had the water buffaloes. So I mean, we've basically written down a little bit of a list of what we know and a few things that we don't know. So
yeah, and a bit of speculation as well. I think there's a few things we've seen over the last few days that kind of triggered a few interesting conversations, didn't they? Like the mapping out of the rice paddies and things like that. So
yeah, I think that's pretty cool and pretty exciting considering everything that it opens up with other aspects of the game. So
it does. Yeah, we'll put the tinfoil hats on later.
Yeah. And what else has changed in terms of what else can they change for the build menu?
Exactly that. And I did wonder, dare I say it, Args, potentially an undo for landscaping mode, even if it's the last step you did.
Yeah, but then I was thinking about that. Once you've undone the last step, does it then say undo previous one?
Yeah.
And then previous one?
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it's easy when you're just putting down points and that sort of thing. Probably makes it a bit easier. So.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Bush warrior working and playing at the same time.
Yeah. Now the ZA, I wonder if that means he's in South Africa.
Yeah, South Africa, I'm guessing.
Very, very good. Right. What do you want to start off then?
What should we start off with? Should we start off with the rice blog because it's the most recent thing?
Sure.
And then maybe weave into what we saw from Tokyo Game. I was actually surprised we didn't say more from Tokyo Game Show. Actually, I thought the trailer was the start of maybe some other info. But yeah, c'est la vie.
Yeah, I suppose it sticks with the what they've released in different times, haven't they? So
it does. Yeah.
I guess Gamescom and then PAX right on the heels of that. Probably there was more creators who were present at those events.
That's right.
Could have shared information. So
yeah. Right. We have to. I'm trying to find the right image. We have to talk about the build menu, I think, don't we? And our first definitely. Our first look at the
UI.
Not just there we go. That's what I was looking for. There we go. The UI down that left-hand side there looks quite nice, doesn't it? I kind of like the shape of these new buttons. It all feels a little bit cleaner, this UI, than I thought. 22 was nice when it came out, but
I know. I was going to say exactly the same thing. Like 22 came out, and we all said the same thing about how they'd refreshed it and made it feel more modern, more up to date. So I guess it's just
we'll see how long before we get bored of this one.
Yeah. But no, you're right. It is nice, and I like the way potentially. I don't know. Does it take up less screen, or does it give you more options to view things and other bits and pieces? I don't know. Yeah,
it looks like they slide out. These little tabs slide out. So you've got that little button there that slides this panel in and out, which is a nice touch. Which also makes me wonder what is underneath that paddy feel option. That looks like you could drag another option out there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
So
it does. So you summarise them all in your review. I think I did too. But basically, on the left, we've got the buildings, productions, animals, decorations, and landscaping. So that's our 5.
All the things they could have picked. They've picked a vintage lamp for the decorations. I thought that was interesting.
It is. They're very simplistic.
Scooter makes a good point. I haven't loaded into FS17 forever, but yeah, you're right. They do feel a bit FS17 like, don't they? Even in Hanson, nice to see you, buddy.
So what I was curious about, and post the question in my video, this is it $1,500 per field?
Yeah, that we don't know that either, do we?
No, but there's nothing like when you're building a fence at the moment, for example, or vines. You click at a point, drag it to the end point, and it'll tell you the overall value over there.
Yeah.
Whereas when we're not seeing that on any of these screenshots, whether that's deliberate or not. But you could add $1,500 a meter. It's going to add up pretty quick doing the perimeter of a field, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? So yeah, maybe it's just the cost of mapping out your field. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens. Interesting. What AJ's saying down here. I want to see if we can take the water physics and build working puddles out of the rice field mechanics. Yeah, possibly. That would be good. The thing I noticed with this, I think there's a couple of questions in the partner Discord, wasn't there, Arks, about do you have to have perfectly flat land to place the fields? Yeah. And even in this, you can change the placement height. So I guess that means it can be on a slope. Obviously, the field when it's full of water has to be flat. But does that mean that the borders of the paddy field can go up and down?
I wondered whether that raise and lower heights more to do. You used to be able to do that in 19 when you were placing a building. You could raise or lower the height of the building to adjust how it changed the topography, the landscape.
Yeah, the deformation.
So if you wanted it, I wonder if it's more related to that, and it's just because it's just their default UI.
No, but I was interested. Can you see the shadow here of the line on the ground? Look, so there's quite a bit of depth here, but then if you go up here, it's gradually. So that's clearly not a level field. But I'm interested to see. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was at FarmCon they said that would level the field out. Obviously, water finds a natural level, so you need to make sure the field's level. Yeah. Which limited the slope you might be able to do it on. So
that's true. So yeah, I'm sure you'll get some sort of warning or kind of alert. What am I doing?
I don't know what you're doing.
Trying to fit it to the space perfectly. There we go. That'll do.
I don't know. We can drag. Yes, it's interesting. The other thing I noticed on this is in the UI up there where the keybinds are, it says advanced controls, and you press middle mouse button to access advanced controls. So what?
That's a good point, actually, isn't it?
Allow
hiding that from us.
Yeah. So there's something else you can do.
More to come.
Holding the middle mouse button.
I am intrigued that, like you said, we're 38 days away. So, like just over a month. Last time with FS22, they had done a big thing on the build. Well, obviously it was overhauled for 22, right? So I guess they put some focus on it. But they haven't talked about it. So are we assuming that not much is going to have changed? Or
that's the funny thing. I don't know, and there's a number of features when we get to our list of what we don't know. Is that the case? If they haven't talked about it, it hasn't changed, or is it just that they haven't got to telling us anything about it?
Yeah, no, exactly right. Now this was interesting as well. It almost looks like here it starts from a point. You almost have like a beginning point for the field, and as you build round, it's always referencing that first point as its kind of starter for 10. So maybe that closes the loop. At any point, you click the right button to close the loop.
Yeah, hopefully you can click the right button and it says, "Are you sure?" or confirm yes.
Exactly. Yeah. You imagine the amount of broken
fields. That's like how you draw on Google Earth, for example. If you want to draw a polygon or a fill region over an area on Google Earth, that's exactly how you go point to point and expand. I wonder if you can add on to fields. If you drew, let's say, using that example, you finished your field now and did a little triangle, can you add on to them? The same way you can snap and add onto a fence and increase the size of the
Okay.
paddy.
Yeah. So if you ploughed these two fields together at a later date,
Hmm.
could you then extend your paddy into the next field? Yeah.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. So Rock said there, I wonder if it's for rice fields or other stuff too. So we've talked about other stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
The thought of pastures, if you could create your own pastures in a grass field by doing something like this, that would be insane.
It would be awesome. And if you put it next to, say, a barn, or if there was, say, a almost like expandable pastures, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Where you could put something down or convert a field into a grazing field.
Exactly.
Put your animals into it.
That would be pretty special if that's. But even if they haven't done it, the potential for that to be done, or even a modder to pick that up and work out how to do it, would be really interesting.
Yep. There was, and the other things I sort of threw in my questions was, fences, power poles, even roads. Could you create a custom road using a string?
Yeah,
like that?
Because of the new way they're doing roads. Yeah.
The new way they're doing roads, which is just a painted texture on it rather than a 3D object.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So you basically, in essence, it's a spline, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, it's exactly that. And that's what, again, just Strody's comment there about hope they make Giants Editor that simple to draw. I had the same conversation with Gamer Designs the other day. Was he was saying how hard it is without using scripts to actually create fields in Giants Editor.
Yeah.
So, fingers crossed that it could be something that translates through to that, which would be nice.
Yeah. Would you need to plow it first if you're creating it through the build menu? So know why? I think basically, from what we understand from the blog, is that when you draw a field, it starts in a cultivated state with lime already added.
From the blog, yeah. But
yeah.
I'm wondering if Y is asking if you did it on a, I don't know, somewhere like No Man's Land, for example, using that, where there's no predefined fields.
Yeah.
If you drew it on a grass area, does it create the field?
Okay.
And that was one of the questions I think was in the partners Discord as well, is what ground state does the field start off with? You just said about it being lined. Is it pre-cultivated? So you just flood it and plant it when you're planting your
or
your rice.
Yeah, or if you just dump it, can you dump it in the middle of a fully grown field of wheat and it just creates a paddy field in the, as a space in it? Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
Can we just comment about the fact that I called it rice and long grain rice? I hate that.
Yeah, I had
It's so frustrating.
I had a Japanese viewer having a good old rant about that in my YouTube. He's like these rice has names. Like give it one of the names of one of the types of rice. Don't just call it rice.
Rice. Yeah. But the fact that you've got, like, if you just had rice in one type, I could kind of understand it. But when you've got two types, to then say, well, is it just generic rice and the other's long grain rice? So I've taken to calling it short grain rice.
Okay, short grain. Right, we'll go with that.
Just makes it easier.
There we go. There's Gaia saying, seeing the undo button makes me hopeful for landscaping tools. I think everybody's kind of holding out for that now. The Giants are probably sitting going, damn it, they're all going to be disappointed.
It's like the soil deformation.
What have we
done?
God,
we can dig. They've got soil deformation. No, it just leaves tire tracks.
Yeah.
Which, we'll get to that, but how good did they look in that liming photo?
Yes, I think I'm going to have to rattle through these now because I have no order to them, but we'll come back to water in a minute.
That one there.
Yeah. The textures are looking really nice on the ground.
Yeah,
aren't they?
And that lime texture looks a little bit paler, not quite as glow in the dark white.
Yeah, it's still too white in my eyes. I think that that upgrade.
Sorry, I was just going to say they're all on the rice blog that was released the other day.
A little bit of texture to the top of it as well. It's not just, which is quite nice.
Yeah. So here's an interesting question I thought of. You've got a spreader there with, let's say, 6,000 litres of lime, weighs, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 tonne.
Yeah.
So a lot of weight. Does the deformation that the spreader will cause decrease as the weight decreases in the spreader? Is the physics good?
I get you. So it lightens the amount of pressure on the.
Yeah.
That's a very good point, actually.
So if you half filled it, you wouldn't get as much tire deformation. I don't know. Just curious if that's a thing or not.
That's a good call. Yeah.
Just very quick. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone who's joined in the last 5 or 10 minutes. Hope you're all doing well. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Hi everyone. Good to have you here.
Rattling through the last sort of 3-4 weeks worth of information. We started off with the rice blog.
Right, let's go to
just go back to that one. Sorry, it's the fertilizer spreader. That one. That one was in there. But interesting, the Kubota. So a lot of people commented in the Hutan Pantai trailer.
Yeah,
they showed the Kubota with jewels, but it had the old clamp on.
Yeah,
jewels.
And that
doesn't have jewels, but it also has the extended axle. Like there may be US spec style jewels coming.
Yeah,
that gave me a lot of hope for that.
It's got a US spec triangle on it as well, hasn't it, at the back?
Oh yeah, I hadn't noticed that. Yeah.
So, and I saw somebody had a rant today about the red and white chevrons in European machines, and if the 9RX comes without a US spec, he's gonna not be happy.
Yeah.
That's a reminder. Actually, I'm going to go back the way. Greenhouses and a benefit to using the greenhouses rather than just buying your seeds. I thought that's a nice touch as well. A little bit of extra effort gives you a yield boost.
So you're picking that off, and I'm just going to find the blog and read out what it said. It said, this one is optional. You can buy saplings at the dealership, or you build a special greenhouse dedicated to cultivating rice saplings. If your agricultural ambitions rely on increased rice production, you should look at growing them yourselves. Yeah. It's interesting. I'm curious as to how that would work from a functional point of view, because how do they know you've grown the
How do you know?
saplings?
No, that's a good point.
Buying them. Or is the only way you can actually get the sapling like that through the greenhouse?
Because it would be it would be seed. I wonder if you can't buy saplings. Can you buy seed and plant it? Or
well, see, if you think about the closest example to this is the poplar planter, where you actually do buy the saplings.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Look at this detail of this
greenhouses. I like the
texture down here.
Oh wow, look at that. Grass, the foil, like they're more of a foil house than a greenhouse. Those ones, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah. There's kind of
inside them and then
tint to it. There is a view in the inside. There we go. Yeah, look at those little tufts of grass on the.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Through the cracks, that's quite nice. Yeah.
Wouldn't find that on my farm. It'd be very clean and maintained.
Exactly, you'd have that all kind of trimmed, and they'd be pressure washed.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put a herbicide on it just to kill it all off.
Yeah. Does the image indicate that the greenhouses have changed as well, or additional greenhouses? I would expect we'll see different greenhouse models. These look a lot bigger, don't they? So I wonder if they're kind of pushing that. Because remember, we had the stall, the little market garden stall with the new crops, the spring onions and things like that. I wonder if there's going to be a little bit more focus on that, and maybe extended kind of gameplay through the greenhouses. That would be quite nice.
It would be.
No, that's a good point, actually.
I was just going to say, we know through 22 that there was a lot of modded crops added through greenhouses too.
Yeah. Cat's saying there that actually that tile, I think it's a texture, but actually just having the lines will help for building alignment and stuff, which is quite nice if you're positioning stuff. I know you've got snapping on, but
yeah, but that just poses a question. I wonder if they could change something in the way the build menu that we were looking at before brings a grid up on your screen.
Yeah,
it shows you overlays a grid and says this is 90. This is your 0 and 90 degree angles.
That's good. Cool. Yeah, like the idea of that.
That's a Valtra tractor, right?
That is. I don't know if it's a different one to the one we've already seen, but different color.
The first, yeah, obviously that's what are they? The MKB trailers or whatever.
Oh yeah, come on, give us a new one of those as well.
I know, right?
10 years of MKB trailers, but they do the job. They do the job. Look at the texture in the rocks as well behind the details. Like that's one thing I'm really looking forward to is the higher def textures. I think it'll really set it off. Right, what else have we got? Oh, I was going to talk. There you go. So this is a field once it's been mapped out. You can see it's a very subtle drop, isn't it? There's not it's almost like it's higher on the outside.
Yeah, and that I got that watching. I was actually watching DJ's video from PAX back the other day, and you did actually have to drive up to get into the field. So even though it was flooded, you actually get to get up into it.
Yeah.
Swimming Club, I just wanted to address that. Because I've dropped the PS4 and Xbox, the older Xboxes, the general consensus is that potentially yes, it will be better optimized, but it's probably going to make more use of your PC. So
multi-core support and things like that we're hoping for anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, this should run now. If you've got your native, your lowest common denominator, which will be your consoles now, or lower end PCs, they should, PS5 runs at 120 FPS, right? As a default. How awesome would it be if FS25 runs at 120 FPS standard?
Yeah. I think there's a lot of things that they've done, and they've talked about, the way they've optimized textures and things like that, and the amount of information and how they've managed to reduce it. I'd recommend going back and watching the FarmCom blog about the engine, because there was a few, like if you're interested in that sort of stuff, there's a little technical details discussed in there.
Really interesting.
There's that beehives on the corner there too.
Yeah, I like the fact that they've muted the colors of the beehives as well, because I always thought they were too loud in 25, but they look a lot nicer.
Did you see that new bee revamp mod that came out during the week?
No. Do you know what? I've not looked at mods.
You haven't looked. Yeah, I know you've been away with work, haven't you? Been busy.
No. Share.
It looks.
Tell me more.
Oh, it looks awesome. Basically, there's a whole lot of different functions to bees. They have a number of bees in the hives, and they can swarm. So basically, if you have too many bees, it will overpopulate the area, and you'll get different yield bonuses if you get them optimized. Yeah, so it looks really interesting. Actually.
Yeah, clever. Hopefully that's portable relatively quickly over to 25. That's such a shame, isn't it, when such awesome mods come out so close to the end of the game?
There's actually been a few in the last last month or so that I thought, gosh, that would have been good to have 18 months ago.
Yeah, I know.
Particularly some of those sort of skill-based
mods. Let's talk about field flooding as well, because this was a new surprise, wasn't it? That you actually have to regulate the water levels in the field. That was a nice, again, it started to make me feel like Rice is where is it? There was the pop-up menu. It's a little bit more involved, isn't it, Rice, than other stuff? There's a lot of different kind of levels to it. There we go. So you've got to be able to top it up. Now, it said it's quite good at turning the water off when it gets to the right level, but...
Yeah, so the way I interpret it is basically your long grain rice is more sensitive to having the correct water level at the right time.
Yeah.
So at this growth stage, whatever it is, it might only need 53%. So you press the flood button and it'll take it up to the level it needs. And then you've got to go back and check it the next day and see what it's at. Whereas the rice, short grain rice, standard rice, whatever you want to call it, is you just keep it flooded. It just keeps the water in it because you don't need it as much. It's not as critical to water.
Yeah.
That's the way I interpret it anyhow. But it takes you back to the reveal trailer where we saw the girl riding the Aprilia bike along and stopping at her pump.
That's right. Yeah.
One of the reasons.
It does. I'm trying to find the... This is the problem when Giants send you stuff to preview. They do it all in English and German, so you get the same images twice.
Yeah. And they also, 3 times, because they give you one without
a logo on as well.
Logo on it.
Yeah. So there's a close-up of the pump, but yeah. Long grain rice, you plant before you flood the field, whereas short grain rice, you have to flood the field and then use the Iseki planter. I'm assuming we might see more than one planter as well. I don't know. We'll see. If not, the models will see us right, won't they? There we go. This is what I was looking at. Just the texture is nice. The way that
it is.
The animation looks quite good on this as well. So
yeah,
I was quite taken with that. And there's our girl. Actually, it's probably the best shot we've seen so far of the new. And the clothing looks a lot more detailed. I mean, I think facially it doesn't look massively different to what we saw in 22, but
no. Did you? It was interesting actually. They released that Rice in 25-second video before anything else. Did you see on that? Let me see if I can share this.
Evening, Share. Nice to see you.
Let's see if I can do this. So, what I was going to show you on this is when they show the rice paddy. It's in the middle of a field. See there?
Yeah.
The way that's been just placed as a square field.
Yeah.
Inside your whatever that is.
A normal crop.
What crop that is. Yeah, it's just a normal crop. And that's quite interesting. And then you can see in the distance, you've got the pump there and the pump there.
Yeah. So actually, I guess when you draw your field, you just automatically get a pump at one positioned at some point on the.
Yeah, I think that's
on the field, just auto drawn. Mr. Huldor, how are you? Now that is a gentleman. If you don't know Ola, he is the creator of Renaboo. He will be watching with interest some of these build tools, I'm sure, and what he can leverage for his map.
Absolutely. Right, go back to sharing your one now.
There we go. So yeah, no, interesting stuff. I think the rice stuff is interesting and exciting. Actually made me want to. I always think sometimes with new crops, it's a bit like grapes and olives. You tried them out first week and went, yeah, they're cool, and then I don't think I've really touched them again since.
Yeah.
But this feels like, and the money you can get for it as well was interesting. Could be quite a lucrative crop, couldn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to get to actually. So your long grain rice has a higher yield, but more than the price is half or so. So
let me try and find it.
Yeah, but 18,000 litres for long grain rice, and it sells at $1,589. Which, if you do the maths on a hectare, is $28,600 potential yield. But if the short grain rice has a lower yield, but sells for more than double, when you do again figure it out, it's $43,000 worth of income.
Yeah, it's huge.
But also, you think back to the fact sheets we had last week, which covered the rice information. Is that planter's only worth 25 grand and the harvester was less than 100. So it's cheapish equipment to buy when you start comparing it to the bean harvesters or the pea harvesters or the spinach harvesters, or even just a standard combine to do your long grain rice. So there's the trade-off, obviously slower and a very narrow width and a very small hopper, so it's very labor intensive.
Yeah. But the returns are maybe worth it. Balances it out. Yeah. And I guess I say this, but I know what the community are like. I was going to say you probably have relatively small rice fields, but I'm sure somebody's going to plow every field together and make the biggest rice paddy in the world pretty quickly.
Oh, and we'll get guys like DJ on who will get the harvester modded with a 50,000 litre capacity and runs at 20 miles per hour.
Exactly. Did you spot these silos in the background as well? I just saw them.
I did. Yeah. Someone commented about. Oh, actually, I was watching Yos and Yabot's blog stream they did yesterday, and they commented, mate, very Oma Tunnerish.
Yeah, they are. Cool. Well, there you go. Lots of stuff in the rice that was quite exciting. We talked for a lot on that, actually, didn't we?
Yeah, we did actually. Did you? The other thing, just very quickly, the long grain rice has a very narrow window. Planted in 1 month and harvested in 1 month.
Yes.
Whereas short grain rice, or this rice, has a slightly wider window.
So you've got a bit of flex there. So especially if you're playing on multi-day months, that gives you a bit of scope, doesn't it?
It's annoying as doing root crops. Yeah, potentially.
It's involved, definitely.
Yeah.
But it feels like there's a lot to keep you going, which is quite nice. Which is quite nice. Right. Should we go on to kind of more general stuff we know so far that we're looking forward to and things like that?
Yeah.
Fill this for a second.
I don't know what we've got to share around it. Might just be a bit of a chat.
Yeah. So, GPS and AI workers. We obviously saw some stuff at FarmCon. We haven't seen anything else since, have we? So
we haven't seen anything on the AI workers.
Exactly.
Again, guys like DJ and Pharmacop who got to play it at PAX, they got to use the GPS, but the AI worker menu was actually locked in that build. So.
Yeah, exactly. So what do we do beyond pulling into the field and actually harvesting a field. So it's obviously you've got the kind of course play element to it where it harvests a crop in a field. But we already know that you can do point to point and sell stuff and all of that in 22. So there's got to be something. There's no way they've left that exactly the same as it was in 22. So I'm interested to see what advancements are going to be from that. I'm still convinced. I know we're a month out. I'm still convinced we are 1 or 2 big announcements away. Like there's a couple of wow moments still to come, or at least one. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
but
I don't know what it is. No. Speculating.
As a marketer, you hold on to your best thing till close to launch to kind of get the hype going.
Yeah, that's right. It was interesting. What was that in 22?
Was it AI workers on the road?
Can't remember now.
I can't remember. But it was somewhere. Look back, we'll probably have a video on it somewhere. But yeah, I think there's something coming. Whether it's NPCs, it could be NPCs because that's a like new thing.
Yeah.
We're kind of jumping into our second part here as well about stuff we don't know about yet. But
yeah, that's right.
Seasons. We have not heard a jot about seasons. Not a other than being shown trees at different stages of autumnal or with no leaves on or something. We have not seen anything. And knowing the feedback from 22 that it was not as good as 19's mod, surely they're gonna do something with seasons.
It has to be something. Yeah, I mean that's the only real chance they have to make changes to it. Really, it's not something you want to change halfway through a game cycle, right? You don't want to do a patch that says, "Oh, by the way, we're going to change seasons completely in the middle of a game." Exactly.
I mean, the only thing they did with 19 with that was it was such a good mod that they wanted it available to everybody. So they kind of, I think, broke kind of with the rules and updated the game so it would work across all, which was great.
Yeah. I've obviously got seasonal cycles because we see that in the growth charts on crops.
Yeah.
So you've got months. There is months, but So it'll be interesting. Yeah, but what else?
Psycho saying maybe now the AI will pass you like in FS23 mobile. I think we might have seen that in a video.
It was either the video or we saw a vehicle kind of still crossing the
at an angle, crossing the road. I doubt Seasons is gone. No, I don't think it's gone, or I think 100% it'll be in. I kind of hope improved, built on what they did for 22 would be nice. But yeah, NPCs is the other one. They've talked about NPCs and we've seen the odd little clip, but we don't have any detailed information. So it's kind of how far do they go with that, right? Yeah. Are they going to be just a helper? Also, you can go up and ask them a question if you don't know how to do something, or even is there going to be missions or tasks or things like that? You just don't know really.
Yeah, no, the NPCs have a lot of potential, and there's a lot of people have asked for something like a career mode almost.
Yeah.
We were actually chatting about it the other day because, again, something else we haven't got listed down there is contracts.
Yeah.
To talk
about. We're going to do
some
contracts.
We were talking about it the other night when we were recording Ahli Farms. Is how cool would it be if you had a contract which was a year long? So your contract was actually to plant, maintain, and then harvest a field. So you kind of almost took on a seasonal lease. So
I like the idea of that.
Yeah. So I don't know.
We'd like a contractor as a game mode would be nice. So you don't own any land, but you manage it and
everyone can do YouTube series about contractors.
If I recall correct, I think one of the devs mentioned you can talk. So you can talk to the NPCs. I think the initial engagement with an NPC will be the initial tutorial when you start the new game. But beyond that, I don't think we know anything else. So that would be awesome. Evening, Tam. Nice to see you.
Yeah, Tam's asking, has his hat been sent to him yet?
It's in a box here, so it's
progress.
it's almost been sent.
Oh goodness!
I'm
Can't
working
get good
on
help
it,
these days, Tam.
I can't. My daughter was supposed to box up all my hats and send them for a small fee. She did the first, think 5 or 6.
It can't be a big enough fee.
Yeah. So yeah.
Slave labor, right? You got to
Exactly.
pay the right amount to get it done.
Yes, negotiate hard.
The NPCs, jumping back on the NPCs, so the Water Buffalo blog talked about interacting with the animal dealer.
True.
It was reference to that.
Yeah.
So,
interesting.
What else is there? So deformable terrain. Obviously, that is coming, and we've seen more and more of that as it goes through the blogs. That
also, remember Marcel said in the partner Discord at some point, he said they're still working heavily on the deformable ground, and he said there's going to be some big improvements from what we saw in the videos at FarmCon and stuff. So that'll be cool. Make the fee big.
There we go. Hey Jeremy, how you done?
FS25 will have baby animals as well. Yes. That's a nice touch.
And new animals too. So
and new animals, goats.
I think goats is going to be the next blog, right?
Yeah. So we've seen a couple of shots, but nothing more than that. So,
but they rounded out. Their rice blog was finished off. Something about rice. Something about goats. Next up, goats was it?
Yes, that's right. Maybe. So
maybe.
Clearly
goats,
not right.
Maybe that's right. Goats maybe. Yeah.
Lighting and fog. The fog simulator jokes have kind of died down a bit, because actually the last I think the Hutan Pantai trailer, there was virtually no kind of haze and mist and fog other than the kind of subtlety of it. So I think that kind of just shows that they were making a point of showing that off to start with, but the reality is it's going to appear at certain times of the day and night, but it's not going to be there all the time. Certainly maybe some weather conditions and stuff like that.
We've got swathing base game.
Yeah, which is cool. Not much more to say than that. I assume that will work just as it did with the mods in 20.
Yeah, it's the same concept really, isn't it?
Yeah.
There was comment from someone, it might have been Farmer Cop, that when you drive over a swath, it deforms, but
that's right.
Deformable.
Yeah, he found that out, didn't he, at PAX? He said they tried that. So that's nice, a little bit of kind of interaction with the ground.
Which, jumping back on that deformable terrain, and that I wonder, what's going to happen on a silage pit if you're compacting a bunker.
Ooh, that could be lovely.
Could be very cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, good call.
Drive across your hay swaths after you've windrowed them up, and you go across them and compact it down a little bit.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, that would be nice. And consumables in balers. Do you think we'll get consumables in anything else as well? I mean, obviously there's mineral feed and things like that already. I'm trying to think what else would have any sort of consumables.
I'm assuming it'll transfer across to everything, like wrappers and standard bale wrappers will have that. I don't know what else. What else is there? Someone will be able to tell us what else there is.
Yeah, or they do something like a silage bagger or something like that you have to stock up.
Yeah. So Bushwar, you swath grain crops, pick it up with a pickup header on a forage harvester. So you swath them.
Oh, so they're doing whole crop but swathing it first.
Whole crop swathing rather than mowing it, which is what we can do now.
Interesting. Will there be mud in the field, so if it's raining hard, you could get stuck? Now, obviously the rain's coming, and obviously we've seen that it's more, it changes the surface. But actually... I
don't know about getting stuck, but...
Yeah, I don't think we'll go as far as that.
They did say that the ground deformation will react to weather and the surface you're on. So if it's the middle of winter and it's rained, I think you'll see more ground deformation than you might in the middle of summer when it's potentially dry.
Yeah. I wonder if the deformed ground will fill up with water if it rains. So if you've got a tire track, does it fill with water?
I don't know. If no one's there to see it, will it? It's not going to if your field's on a slope, is it? You'd have to have
obviously not. No.
Yeah.
Obviously, it'd be like your rice fields. Don't build it on a slope because there'll be no water.
All of these things. What else? We saw logging for the first time in the trailer.
Yeah, you picked up something. You picked up something in that, didn't you? That was interesting. In fact, I've got a load of screenshots from the video because I used them to make my my vid. But let me see if I can vid stills somewhere in here.
I think third person is going to interfere with pumps and hoses. Well, we don't even know if pumps and hoses is going to be in 25 yet, because that was a third party mod. So
yeah,
but if third person, so something like that, Jason, is when you've got two mods. So third person in 22 was a mod from modders rather than being base game. But anything that is base game, the mod created would have to not interfere with it.
Yeah.
It was the cell lumber that I picked up. We buy and sell lumber.
That's right. Yeah.
Can you go to the sawmill and buy lumber to be able to then use it in productions for whatever?
Yeah. So if we know we've got buildable houses, some people won't want to cut down trees and turn them into planks. So I guess that's the option that you can then just buy the wood.
Could you imagine a hardcore mode and you flip your tractor and it's game over? I'm sorry you died. Your family are taking over the it's gone to an estate sale and you're gone.
And it plays a health and safety video about how to drive tractors.
I'm
like
going to drop a bombshell. Giants have engaged me to do some health and safety videos.
Have they?
Yeah. I've seen what I've been doing with you. The positive impact I've had on
ironically, on the flip side of that, John Deere have just hired me to do 2 videos where you race tractors around a pre-made course. I think it tells you something about our 2 channels, right?
Goodness.
Oh, very good.
See, the difference is you're telling the facts and I was just making a lie.
Oh dear. Right. Let's play
Like
the Huntan Pantai trailer.
Rated E for everyone.
Again, because it's cool. Oh, we should talk about Oleum.
Oleum. Ramen. And all of the terrible marketing slogans.
We should talk about that as well. Yeah. Like second-hand embarrassments for Giants. For the bad jokes.
See that worker wearing a singlet, Args is going to be wearing a singlet with a bad handlebar moustache and mullet.
Yep. I love that animation.
I really want to find out from the Giants is how they do half their shots in their videos like this.
Yes.
Can they make it a mod? That little class combine was nice.
Oh, I love that. I think that looks fantastic. Yeah, there's the ramen sign. They focused on the ramen sign for too long for it not to be it'll be a noodle production. We know that's going to be a thing, don't we?
Rice noodles, yeah.
Very
it's like
cool.
Japan, except driving the wrong side. So no one's really commented, and I think I shared it with you. Hutan Pantai. If you throw that into Google Translate and say detect language, it comes up as Indonesian, meaning coastal forest.
And it's on the coast, and there's forestry in it.
So it's set in Indonesia.
Yeah. It's set in Asia. I think they've kept it broad enough to... because people said that, the driving's on the wrong side of the road for Japan, but...
It's probably because they'd have to add in more AI models with right-hand or left-hand steer.
Could we pause shot by shot and talk about what we see in each? Yes. In fact, you don't need to pause shot by shot because I have taken them all. Hang on a second. Ola, hang on.
Jason, you're asking about pickups for swathing, I'm assuming. The MacDom pack is going to be included if you pre-order. You can get the MacDom pack. What we're going to have in terms of pickups and swathing base game without doing that is technically I've said no, so far there won't be anything. It'll be on modders to bring that in, won't they?
Yeah, exactly. So they've set the stall out, but they're kind of leaving it open for the modders to do their thing.
Yeah. If it's anything like 22, I things like the Mac Anthem, which was a pre-order bonus, you'll be able to pick up pretty cheaply as a DLC.
Yeah, exactly. Right, so I love this texture here. These are a little bit lower res than screenshots because they were just grabbed on the fly. But yeah, we kind of thought, didn't we? There's a lot of buildings on this map. The town area, or the city area, looks quite big. So,
but that's like Erlengrad. So Erlengrad had a big town area with 4 or 5 roads and kind of focus there in the center of the map. And I kind of look at this as the same. And Erlengrad still had some decent fields, a lot of
there were some big fields in Erlengrad, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was.
And then you can obviously see there's a bit of gear. There's quite a decent amount of trees in here for a forestry perspective.
Cherry blossom trees cool too.
They are nice. We talked about, wonder if there's a bullet train or something zips past as just a bit of decoration on the map. But obviously there's the other train line which goes past. But that was interesting. But yeah, the cherry blossom trees are nice. I wonder if you can grow those.
I don't know. A lot of people have said tea would have been fantastic for an Asian map. And seeing Wash's comment there about coffee, tea would be a fantastic sort of expansion to the olive grape vineyard type thing.
Yeah. Or
even as and this might be something someone could do. Here goes another free mod idea, doing it through a greenhouse.
Yep. Yeah, good call.
Using a greenhouse type system.
Also, this, I can't really see it this well here, but this Oleum Corp, now that could just be sunflower, canola, the oils that we had in 22, or could it mean? I mean, that looks more like a fuel-based. So, are we going to be able to make our own diesel, things like that, in 25?
You asking me?
Yes.
I looked at it more as maybe a sunflower olive.
Yeah,
canola,
I mean,
oil,
it's very possible it could be. But look, they've got all the right sign. Look, you'd be happy, Arx. There you go.
Yeah, they happen to.
They've covered all the bases.
They need a wardrobe trigger there so you can change into your hard hat.
Also, this terrible.
Great. So good. It's dad joke alert, right?
Yeah. I love the look of this. Somebody said they felt there was too much decorative buildings that didn't have a purpose or a meaning, but I think I read in the blog that this is potentially where, like the silo, the grain silo that you have to restore in Riverbend Springs. This is where you'll put your collectibles if you find them.
Possibly.
Yeah. So.
Yep. Will there be working sell points at the dock? I 100% expect there will be sell points at the dock.
That boat is definitely a sell point, no question. Whether or not the boat loads up and sails off, or it just sits there permanently and you just tip alongside it, I don't know. But
I heard on the 12th of November there's also a dual release from the Wheatles. They've got a new album coming out.
The Wheatles.
Hang on, Mrs. Arxie's home. I've got to go and unlock the door.
All right. There you go. Does she not know her stream? Why is she not watching? Yeah, the town stuff. The interesting thing with the town stuff, I think, is what happens if there's not that many, maybe NPCs or people walking around. Without that, it kind of feels a little bit empty. So this is a nice shot, but I'm just saying, Args, with a lack of kind of people walking around and stuff, it could feel quite empty, the city. I'll be interested to see what they do with that.
They're all in the karaoke bar.
That's right.
I did say, and I'm going to say it publicly, it verges a little bit on some racist kind of undertones to it a little bit, I think.
Yeah, it's you're walking a fine line, aren't you?
It is. It's very difficult when you're trying to, I guess you're portraying an area which the culture is very heavily that side.
Yeah.
So, I don't disagree with the bright signs and the neon and all that sort of thing. Just some of the,
you just don't want to stereotype
some of the language. Yeah.
Look, there's your.
Oh, you did see it on that shot.
Centre
so
mount.
See the axle.
But you're only using So that's interesting. There's the train as well.
Yeah, so that's running, but like you commented, it looks like there's 2 tracks in that up there. So maybe
There is
get
that one
train
to
going one way
yeah.
and a maglev flying the other way or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool, wouldn't it? And that mulch was nice. So it's basically like a batwing mower, but a mulcher.
And someone said it was a big one.
Yeah, which makes sense if that's the color. Yeah.
Excuse the background noise.
There it is. There it is again.
Train in the foreground.
I love this shot. I love this pan around here. It just shows that kind of extra level of detail they've thrown in. Like just the new depth of the trees.
Hote Battleron had a lot of they had that castle and fort on the hill and that, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Behind the town.
They did. There was some nice stuff there.
Other stuff scattered around with that too.
Yeah. I think it's important. That looks like
Farmyard,
animal dealer, maybe.
Sell point, yeah.
Something
Market.
interesting. The only sign that we saw that this was Piaggio.
Piaggio. What's up, DJ? How are you, buddy?
Mr. Goham, how you doing?
The stop sign looks weird. The text in the middle of the stop sign just looks so disproportionate to what a stop sign looks like.
It does. Yeah. It is a little bit small, isn't it? Somebody said, having the sign in English is ruins the immersion. But I think certainly in some countries they stop is used as a universal sign. Even when we were in France in the summer, they have stop on their signs now instead of arrête. So
yeah.
There we go. RTX 20 series is now recommended for the settings in 22. Yeah.
I see the 50 series. Probably aren't going to be out this year.
I don't think so. No.
Been holding out,
which is good because I can't afford to buy one, and I would. I love the water texture in the animation. I thought it looked really, really natural.
Is that cool. Going back to that one in the background? Is that a rice paddy that has slope on it? Can't be. Look at the slope on that field. Surely it's not a rice paddy.
Yeah, it can't be, can it? That might just be a
field. So it'd be interesting if you were to build a rice paddy on that field. What would it do to leveling things out?
Yeah. Does it raise it up at one side or does it lower it down? Yeah.
Perhaps that goes back to the raise and lower button. Maybe it helps you specify so the lines show the height. What if they go?
And if you can't go over or under, yeah. So there's a point at which you can't go any further. Yeah, that's a good point. And actually, it changed color, didn't it? So it was going to be more yellow. So it almost if it goes yellow to red, so it's almost like these are your limits. You can't go over these. Yeah, that's a good call, Args. That's a good call. We saw that one. Not much we can see in this one really, other than the haze and the rain. I'm excited to play with the weather and actually enjoy the weather. You know, proper rain that makes you stop what you're doing. I think will be good fun.
Monsoon, Asian monsoon.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can see a little bit of the different texture on level of detail or your distance right in the foreground of that, right? It's sort of a lot fluffier, and then you get into that lower detail texture beyond.
Just around there, yeah.
Or even further, right.
Oh, okay, just here, actually, yeah. Which is a shame, and I guess and obviously you can fix that by bumping your graphics up, but I guess there's a trade-off, really, isn't there, about optimizing the game versus making it look like crystal clear?
Yeah, and they'd need to be careful because if they presented that field showing it all looking really nice, and then you got your gameplay trailer showed that texture was the whole way across, and I get this ring, so they might have dumbed it down a little bit for that.
No, it's a fair point.
Expectations realistic.
Not much we can take away. I did pick up there's maybe a little bit more detail in the hair and some of the features on the models.
Does that say zoom on the side, or is it the 700 M?
It does say zoom, or 700M. Again, just really nice, that detail's lovely.
Yeah, the textures.
And this combine, like you said, looks really nice. Can't wait to. It will work really nicely on kind of smaller fields and stuff. You'll have a class combine. Let's go here. There's that new texture for TMR. We're still unsure whether or not if you can't feed your cows silage direct in 25,
boycott the game.
Yeah, what is going on? What is going on?
It is a bit silly.
We had a point when I was younger where you used to roll back the sheet of the silage clamp in the winter, and the cows could just go up and eat direct from the clamp.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's like a smorgasbord.
I know. It's like, yeah, don't stop. But yeah, it would be a shame. It's a little bit that you've got this almost kind of black or very dark brown, like TMR is in 22.
Yeah.
But turning into a lighter texture down there is interesting as well.
But how much better does that texture look, like the discharge texture? It's more varied.
Yeah.
Than what we've got at the moment. Like if you're tipping out at the moment, it'd just be a sheet of
a
TMR
wall of TMR. Yeah. So it is nice from that perspective. It is nice from that perspective. And then when I saw this little tiny square field, I was like, oh, like surely not. So I'm guessing if you buy a building that has a pasture attached to it, you get that obviously, but we'll still hold out hope that we've got to
build your own.
Yeah, build your own pastures. Goats are goats.
Happy goat.
Ramen. That's the last one. But yeah, I kind of thought they focused on that that was too big and prominent in a shot to not.
So my question is: it buy two get one free, so you get a third one free, or do you pay for one and get is it buy two for the price of one, or do you buy two get a third one free? What is it?
I think it's buy two. Oh no, I'm too tired and my head hurts. I can't answer that.
How hungry are you to go in and go, I need 3 ramen, please? You can get your third one free.
Yeah. Hold on, Alex. Oh, it's Mrs. FSG.
Hello, Mrs. FSG.
Is she on stream?
Yeah, you're on stream.
That's it. The reveal.
The reveal. Mark that moment.
Mrs. FSG reveal.
Oh, funny.
There you go. Wave to the crowds.
Yeah.
I thought it was just Argsy.
No, it is just Argsy. There.
It's just there.
But there is 110 people watching on my stream. Oh no, there we are. We've had a crisis now.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
FSG's got to delete his channel.
Let the American explain. Lol. You get 3.
And then go and buy 3 more.
But well, no, hang on, DJ. Hang on, DJ. If you buy 2, one of them is free.
So that's 2 for the price of 1.
So you get 2, but you only pay for 1. No.
Carry on. Next screenshot.
I'm too tired.
We'll just let it move on.
I'm too. Oh, look at you with your nice comment. You're just saying that because she's standing behind me. You can't say anything horrible. Thank you, folks. Oh, that was one thing actually, Alex. Have you checked the website today to see if any new equipment?
I did have a look, but then I don't know where they were up to.
It was 170. Now DJ goes through and counts them, I think, because he usually has an update. But
there's no way to tell how many there are.
No, there isn't. I was just wondering if there's anything new on there.
74 brands on there.
74 brands.
Who knows? Well,
yeah, I don't think there's anything new on there.
Buy one and get one free. Exactly. Nothing new this week. There we go. Confirmed.
Thank you. The Oracle has spoken.
Yeah.
Very good. Right. Tinfoil hat time, Args. Come on. Before we finish up, let's make a bit of a prediction. Go on.
Do you want to do before we do that? What's your favourite fact sheet?
Ooh. What's my favourite fact sheet? I know the answer to this.
Good.
I know the answer to this. Although it may be changed today, but I'm not going to say today's because that would be being boring because the The 9RX is cool, but I think probably the massive cedar from Novag looks really cool. I'm looking forward to getting stuck into that.
Yeah.
Hey, Squash Monkey, nice to see you, bud.
There we go. The T-Force Plus.
Yeah, I mean, just some of the stats on that are ridiculous. The volume of seed it can, or seed and fertilizer that can hold, is massive. The fact it runs at such a fast speed, so you can plant really fast with it, and the width of it.
Needs some horsepower, 450.
Yeah, and you
now,
big...
someone pointed out to me, cedars don't do sorghum. I hadn't picked that up. Wheat, barley, oats, canola, grass, oilseed radish, long grain rice, peas, and spinach.
Come to think of it, have you seen a sorghum icon anywhere? Would they have removed a crop?
I thought I had. Hang on. That's a good question. Yes, I have. I'll show you. It's definitely there. That's sorghum between the canola and the sunflowers.
Just Mrs. FSG's having a bit of a crisis now.
Oh.
Apparently she was stream ready.
No.
So okay, is there?
She looked more stream ready than you do half the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's not difficult. Milo or the white DJ saying are his favourites so far. The white, the white tractor, that was quite nice to see.
No, I haven't mentioned it yet, Chair, but I will soon. Haven't forgotten. Yeah, if I was going to pick one, I don't know what to pick. You know, I knew I was going to ask you this question. I'm kind of all over the place with it.
Hey, Hamish.
I'm actually going to go, and this is a interesting one. Is the Delbo, the power chain.
Oh yeah, you like a diamond chain, don't you?
Well, it's just, you know, being this part of the world, and it's something, you know, we've used, and I am interested to see how the animations work on it folding, because those diamond chains were used on Aussie farms together. Like, they basically, as soon as you press fold, the chains disappeared. It folded the frame up, and then they reappeared in that sort of folded state.
Yeah.
So I think there's some photos of it folded somewhere. Just need to find it. Not that way. That's me.
Scooter should probably do a better job, mate.
Here we go.
Yeah, the Anna Burger. Yeah, there it is.
That looks great folded. So
it does, doesn't it?
Go from there. Yeah.
And it'd be interesting because have we had anything like that before with such a movable element that. So if they've mastered that in the animations, that could open things up quite nicely for quite nicely for modders as well. If they could pick apart how that works.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
The only kind of animation we've seen where you see something move on that would be in pumps and hoses, right?
Yes,
it has that kind of flexibility.
Yeah.
So interesting.
I suppose actually I'd have to go back and look, but how do hoses flex on like the big Borgo planters?
Yeah, interesting.
There we go. So get back your tinfoil hat on.
Tinfoil hat.
What are we tinfoiling?
Right. I'll run through them one by one. You can answer. Are we going to see an improvement to seasons?
I think there will be a change of some description. I don't know what that change.
Such a politician's answer.
And so many people have said, and I don't want to just jump on the bandwagon, but I was a huge fan of Seasons in 19.
Yeah.
And it was the things that Seasons brought which made it more realistic. So those patches of crop that would get destroyed or wilt or wither or
rotting bales, and things like that.
Rotting grass, even just the grass, even just making hay, shearing sheep. You know, you only got wool during spring and
So, nice.
Yeah,
like it.
That would have been pretty cool.
Okay, number 2, NPCs. Are they going to be useful or kind of just more furniture on the map?
I reckon there'll be more furniture. I reckon there'll be something you can walk up to instead of interacting with a trigger. So at the animal dealer, you go and see a person and tell them what you want. But I can't see them being much more than that.
Okay. The graphic, the UI menus, obviously we've seen them for the first time kind of in detail. Are we going to see any big changes or updates to those? For example, an undo in the landscape mode?
Well, and we've seen that. I'm looking for something more like time-saving stock check.
Okay. Yeah. Nice.
That kind of level of information.
Yeah.
Because I think 22 was a huge. It was in some ways was a step forwards, but also in some ways was a step back. I hate trying to go through. You get a high demand or a extra bonus price at somewhere. Can't remember what they call it now. It's so hard to go through and find. So just having those different ways of searching. Yeah.
Mods as well. Wouldn't it be great to search mods?
I was just about to say that.
Yeah. Okay, contracts we know nothing about. Is it just going to be a repeat of 22, or are we going to see something else?
I don't think we'll see anything else.
Okay.
It's the same as it is.
Animals, grazing and feeding.
There's going to be something.
How is grazing going to work?
I want to say, because of what we've talked about today, that you can draw a field, and because they specifically said in the water buffalo grazing in the field. They didn't. Was it field or pasture? Pasture, I think. They didn't say. I can't remember what the terminology was, but whatever it was that they said was more that you could put it out. And then there's been the references. So you've had a couple of people say about one of the buildings had on Hutan Pantai had that reference to your cows in the field, a cow in the road or something.
That's right. Yeah. So cows can escape from somewhere or
and there was another reference to, I can't remember what the second one was, but.
Oh, it was on the building in Hutan Pantai.
Yeah, but no, previous to that, like in
there was blog. There was a reference on one of the other blogs. I think it was the
Sprongs or something.
Yeah, maybe I think it was after. Maybe it was the weather blog after a tornado's been through.
Yes,
you could have cows elsewhere on the map.
Yeah.
So
I reckon there's going to be more to that.
I hope so. Animals does need an overhaul for animals has been talked about for a while now, hasn't it? So. I kind of hope they will have addressed that. New productions. We saw the rope production point or the rope factory on Riverbend Springs. Now, not having anything to produce rope with is interesting now. So was that just decorative, do we think? But why would they have had the rope? So no, well, it wasn't decorative because it had an unload point.
Yeah.
How are we going to make rope?
I don't know. I don't know what is going to be the input for that.
Yeah. And in general, what do you think we're going to see from a new productions perspective? Because obviously you've got buildable houses now, which will need things producing for it. Rice, there's masses of opportunities with rice. We know we're getting buffalo milk and buffalo mozzarella. So, anything else out there? Like, give me a left field one that nobody's thought about yet.
No one's thought about.
Yeah, give me your kind of most curveball new production.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I like something food related in Asia. Sushi, like we've talked about ramen.
Oh, sushi.
Sushi, soy sauce. You've got soybeans.
Oh, interesting. Isn't hemp in the new game? No, hemp is not in the new game, and it's not likely to be either due to the connotations with it for other stuff, not rope.
Not rope. Yeah, I reckon something like that.
Okay.
Asian food related thing.
Soap. Interesting.
Here we go.
Interesting. Glue. You can sell your horses to the glue factory. Fish farming. Interesting, Oliver. Fish farming for sushi. Yeah. Interesting. Precision farming. A lot of people are asking, is precision farming coming to 25?
Yep.
a lot of people wondering why it won't be, or thinking it's going to be in base game, but it's never been in base game, has it? It's always been a free DLC.
It's been, to 19 and 22 it was free, but it's at the point now where why isn't it base game?
Yeah, I think it's a licensing thing because there's so many different people involved in it, isn't there? Yeah, I guess they have to agree. I don't know. I mean, a lot of them are universities and scientific establishments.
Surely Giants are smart enough in the way that they make, once you've uploaded a mod to Mod Hub, they effectively own it.
True.
In the T's and C's. Surely they'd have something saying, we'll work with you on it, but we get rights to it.
Yeah. No, that's a fair point. Yeah.
They wouldn't want to burn the bridges with those partnerships. But...
No. Yeah. As Sean said, horses may be finally worth a drop. So horses are an absolute money pit, or a money spinner even in 22. You buy a horse for 500. What is it? 500 or buy it for 500 and sell it for $5,000. And all you need to do is give us moats every now and again. Free money. Free money.
Yeah.
It was a DLC, Hamish. Yeah, it's always been a DLC. It's always been a free DLC. But yeah, it seems odd that they wouldn't add it to base game if they're going to continually repeat it, unless the little bit of PR around it's quite good. Yeah. AI work, extra features in AI workers, Args. What are we going to see?
Well,
are they going to run alongside a combine and unload an auger wagon?
That's the extent of how far is it going to go. Can you put a baler on? Will it detect a swath and run behind a windrow swath or a straw swath out the back of a combine? Will it unload? I don't think so.
No, I think you're right. I think it will do point to point. I would be surprised if it does much more than what they've done in the fields is a massive step forward, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
huge.
No doubt.
So if they've left the kind of moving around, maybe it's a little bit smarter so it doesn't crash into stuff or cause traffic jams, but I can't see it's doing much more than doing point-to-point stuff.
I think it is pretty smart. When what they revealed at FarmCon with it, and it showed, and we talked with it was with Stefan, I think, afterwards, around how it worked was, it looked like it was doing some stupid things with the way it turned. Like no farmer would turn that way when they're going to go the other way in the field. Well, no, they're not, but they've programmed it to do it the smartest way within the field bounds. I think we're going to see much more improvement here.
That's right. And
just
they said that
just the fact they can take off headlands, that AI workers can take headlands off. But that's the biggest issue, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you want a current worker to work really well, you've got to take off half a dozen headlands, give them turning space in the field.
Yeah.
I'll do that themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I think that's about it, isn't it? Right. Last one. Yeah. We'll both answer one of these. Go on.
Okay. I just wanted to, before that, wanted to give Cher a plug, because she is doing a fundraiser for the Stroke Association. Now, she's been very open about the fact she had a stroke several years ago. She's doing a 60-mile walk during the month of October and has a GoFundMe page for that. So if anyone wants to go along and just share a couple of bucks, a couple of dollars, whatever it is, then please do.
Yeah, nice one, Alex.
Link there in the stream. It'd be awesome to see the community come together and support Cher, because she's been a big part of both our communities since in the last 12 months. And
she has indeed.
That sort of thing. So.
And she bought me chocolate at Lama, so she will forever be very high in my estimation.
Yes. Oh, there we go. There you go. If you want to win a feast, Cher, we're buying chocolate. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't get looking like this eating salad, Uggs. Very good. Right, before we finish, there's a couple of other things. Well, one big thing we're going to mention, but just ahead of that, we've obviously seen so much already. Like, Giants have been brilliant, but the amount of information that we've had is phenomenal. What is your, if you could pick one thing that we've not heard yet that you would love to see come into 25, what would it be?
You've thought about this.
Yeah.
There you go. Let me think. One thing. Trying to think what, like, I don't know if this is like, I would love to see more immersion and involvement around fertilizers, herbicides, the level of detail in that. So I know you got a copy of it. I know that half of the Farming Simulator content creator community seem to have been flooded with some emails about another game that's being released in a couple of days.
Yeah.
Kadirk did a stream on it yesterday. I've seen a few people, I think Omatana did a video on it. The graphics are horrendous and hurt my eyes to look at, but there's some features in there when you look at the
gameplay
field
stuff
information,
is cool, right? Yeah.
Some of the gameplay stuff, and they have the NPK. So, you know, what sort of fertilizer do you need to put on a certain crop down to that level of detail. If some of that could come across, you know, do you need herbicide? Do you need insecticide? Do you need pesticide? And if you do, you need to actually mix it. You need to buy a concentrate and put it into a tank and mix it with water. Yeah. If we could have that, I'd be happy.
Yeah. So like a big extension of like BC Beulah's kind of
the fiber mixing trailer.
Yeah, exactly. Stuff like that would be awesome. No, I think that that'd be cool. And different. I would love to see different, depending on the soil or the different seed types as well. That would be awesome.
And then, DJ, you don't know what game it is.
Good. DJ never pays attention to anything.
It's probably another one of those emails. He's like, nah, ignoring that one.
I've seen you on European trips, DJ. You just get told you need to be here at this time. Okay.
Okay.
Farmer Cop is your nanny. Yes, mine would be around. I really hope for an expansion on seasons. I would love to see some of the stuff that we talked about in 19 coming back and it becoming a more detailed kind of version of seasons, so that you've got to really think about it, and it makes quite an impactful difference. So really, at the moment, I feel with seasons, you have your growing months, and that's about it. So if you miss your growing months, you've missed your window. But there's so much more to it than that, right? So I would just love to see some of those elements coming back and making it a little bit more immersive would be good.
It opens it, like, you know, seasons is great because it does become so much more immersive, and you know, if they would do something with like what I was talking about with the sprays or herbicides, it opens it up to animals. Like I know, you know, MRG on Switzer was trying to, you know, have some sort of requirement for animal care where you have to give them inoculations, drenches.
There's some nice ideas in there
to do some, you know, actually look after your animals, because they need caring for. They don't just need feeding and watering. They actually, you know, need to check on their health and those kind of things.
Yeah, no, I think
it's real life. It's you know,
exactly that. So yeah, no, there's tons of scope, and I know he's kind of wrangling, trying to get it working perfectly on this, but
it's just the concept of it, right? It's just that idea, and there's so many good ideas out there. I do have to say, I think Giants so far have done a fantastic job of adding things the community have asked for.
Yeah,
there's a lot. How many times have we said people asked for this? People asked for this.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
The swathing, one of them, deformable terrain, those GPS AI workers, you know, improved GPS AI workers. Those are things that the community have asked for, and have actually listened and found a way to make it work. I'm sure they were thinking about those sort of things anyhow. It's not like they go, oh, we hadn't thought about doing that.
Exactly. But it takes time to work out how to do it. And and they obviously, the modding community helps them do that. You know, look at swathing and things like that. There's you know, some sterling work by BC Beulah this year and Yoss to make those swathing add-ons. So I think this is where Giants benefit from the modding community. You know, I know people sometimes say, "Oh, Giants doesn't care about the modding community," but obviously there's benefit there.
So there's 4 really good comments which have just come down. Vehicle maintenance is one, Sean, fantastic. Hanson, yes, spread out the sale time so you don't just always sell your soybeans in July. Actually have a more dynamic market.
Don't hold on to them for a year. Yeah.
And what else? Floodable fields opens up, and cranberries. You've touched on there. Hamish is one of them.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. What I was going to say is it was interesting to hear out of the Straight 4, out of Project Motor Racing.
Yeah.
There was a video they did the other day which had a lot about their relationship with Giants in there.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're going to talk about. Yeah.
1.6 billion downloads. There's a mod. There's 10 mods downloaded every second.
Every second.
So you're sitting in your computer at your PC and complaining about how long it takes for a mod to download. Just put into perspective that in that second, 10 other people are doing the same thing.
Yeah, and if it's a map, what happens if it's like a gigabyte map?
Yeah. So you can imagine when something like Millennial Farmer came out, or MF Farmer, or Lowry, whatever you want to call, whatever they had to call it this time
the
around.
pressure on the infrastructure.
Yeah. And as the community, what did they sell 6 million plus copies of the game this time around?
Yeah.
So compared to 19, it might be, I don't know if it's double or what it was. But
I don't know if this is official or if it was, but we heard rumors that they sold more copies in the first, was it 48 hours than
pre-orders, you mean?
more pre-orders in the first 48 hours than they
yeah.
did until launch of 22.
There's some
just
astronomical number like that.
Goes to show you how popular the game's becoming, which is awesome.
Yeah. No, it is a big one. So I think, and I'd strongly recommend keeping an eye on what the Straight Fall guys are doing with Project Motor Racing, because there is some interesting tidbits coming out of that, which could have some real positives moving forward for fun.
And they're building their own physics engine on the Giants engine, which is going to be separate, but there's going to be crossover. There absolutely is going to be crossover.
They're going to learn from each other. Surely they've obviously learned, and that was something that they said was, how much, and this is taking it back to that point you were saying about Giants don't care about modders. Giants 100% do, because they, right from the start, they wanted a game that was moddable.
Yeah. And
when they look at the sheer volume of mods being downloaded, there's no way they could say they don't care about or have a focus on modders.
Yeah, agreed.
They just have a product. They have something that they want to have some quality assurance and some quality control over. And when you've got hobby people doing it as a hobby, like you and I doing what we do as a hobby, then they've got to, you can't expect everyone to be doing it right the first time. You've got to learn somewhere. Hopefully they can make that easier for modders to pick up. I think that's the one thing, is that just providing a little bit more information.
The documentation, the ease of being able to build mods. I think, I know a lot of the modders that I speak to and you speak to are like, it's just frustrating that there isn't better documentation on how to do stuff.
And that could be a language thing. I mean, you've got guys like Luis in South America who does all his work in Spanish, and he's in Brazil, Portuguese.
Absolutely.
How do you communicate it to so many people? I don't know if you've seen Formal Pickles trying to make an AI. He's working on an AI app to help modders.
Oh, nice. That sounds great.
Yeah. So there's some ideas there around that kind of thing. So
yeah.
Anyhow,
rant
about all those kind of things.
Well said, Ogs. Yes, it was a good. It was a valuable point of view. Wasn't a rant. Right. We've got something exciting to tell everybody, haven't we? But we can't tell them too much.
Tell you much. No. But
what is it now, Ogs? It's
beginning of October. The game comes out in 38 days, 39 days.
So in just over 2 weeks. No, in fact, it's 2 weeks on the nose, isn't it? We are leaving our places of content creation, New Zealand and UK. We will be meeting up somewhere, an undisclosed location, with a few pregnant. We're Args and I and a few other selected content creators are going to somewhere that we can't divulge, but we are going to get the opportunity to play Farming Simulator pre-launch and hopefully bring some nice content and some information back from it. So very excited. Excited to catch up with you again, mate. Twice in 1 year is bonkers when we live on opposite sides of the world. But also can't wait to get. I mean, we missed out on PAX and Gamescom being able to play it. So excited to get my hands on it.
Yeah, and the fact it's going to be only weeks before release, it'll hopefully be a very close to final version. Hopefully we can answer some of the questions we've had today.
Definitely.
If we can get our hands on those kind of things and have a look at that. So it's very exciting and very privileged to have the opportunity to do it.
Yeah. And all of you saying Germany on Oktoberfest would have been brilliant. Oh my god.
Amazing.
Oh yes.
You can guess all you like, but I think closer to the time, I think we might be able to share some information about where we are.
Yep.
There will be a embargo on actually releasing any content specific to the game, but
yeah. But that's good because that gives us people who have jobs during the day more time to edit our content.
Yeah.
Not all of us have the luxury of DJ of just rattling out the content when he feels like it. So, but yes, no, we'll obviously. Yeah, of course he has. Yeah, 100%. Of course, we'll be recording it and we'll be trying to bring it all to you as quickly as we can, and sharing it all with you, because without you lot, we are nothing.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So huge thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in, watching the videos, dropping likes, subscribing, everything.
Yeah, it is appreciated.
Right.
Well,
I don't think there was anything else on our list we haven't covered.
No, I think we did well there, didn't we, Mr. Marcel's Garage? Love it. No, thanks everyone. Thanks Args as well. That was good chat actually.
Welcome. It was nice. It was good.
Thanks so many of you for joining us. I've got just under 150 people watching at the moment, which is great. So always appreciated. And well, I guess we'll do we might run out of time to do another one of these before launch, Args, but who knows? Maybe we could do one live at an undisclosed location. Undisclosed location. Yeah, I'm not sure how good the internet is in Mr. Marcel's garage, but we'll see.
Perhaps that's why the mods are so slow.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just running it off his Wi-Fi at home.
Yeah, and an old hard drive.
Yeah.
But thank you, everyone. Take care. Enjoy your weekends. And we'll catch up with you again soon. And Args, I will see you on Sunday for next episode of Ahali Farm.
100% you will. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Pleasure having you all here. Take care. Catch you later. Bye.
Take care. Bye for now.